President Donald Trump has authorized the U.S. military to assume control over certain lands along the U.S.-Mexico border as part of broader initiatives targeting unauthorized immigration. The directive was issued in a memorandum late Friday to Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. The document outlined expanded military responsibilities at the southern border, titled Military Mission for Sealing the Southern Border of the United States and Repelling Invasions. The memorandum directed the armed forces to take a more active role in border security. The memorandum stated that the southern border faces multiple threats, and that the situation warranted increased military involvement compared to previous years. As part of the directive, the Department of Defense would gain authority over federally controlled lands, including the Roosevelt Reservation, a 60-foot wide stretch of land spanning California, Arizona, and New Mexico. This change would allow military personnel stationed there to detain individuals suspected of unlawful entry until they can be transferred to immigration authorities. Authorized military operations on these lands include constructing border barriers and installing surveillance technology. An initial review of the policy is scheduled after 45 days, led by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. However, the memorandum grants Hegseth the discretion to expand the scope of federal land included at any time. The order specifies that Native American reservations are excluded from military jurisdiction under this directive. This action follows a series of enforcement measures introduced during Trump's administration, including the declaration of a national emergency at the southern border. Separately, on Thursday, a federal judge upheld the administration's authority to require non-citizens present in the U.S. to register with the federal government. This requirement, originally enacted in the 1940s, has not been consistently enforced in recent decades. The Department of Homeland Security announced on February 25th that individuals failing to register could be subject to penalties, including fines or imprisonment. The announcement has drawn attention due to concerns about circumventing the Posse Comitatus Act, which limits military involvement in civilian law enforcement. One justification cited by Trump and some Republican lawmakers for increased border militarization is the trafficking of fentanyl by individuals crossing the border without authorization. However, official data indicates that 90% of individuals convicted for fentanyl distribution are U.S. citizens.